The greatest scientist in Europe before Einstein, Isaac Newton, who brought about this tremendous synthesis of all the sciences at that point in time. Do you know what he was doing? Now, he is a genius, I'm not denying that, but even he was cheating. They found a book written on various elements of gravity, written by a Moor. And he had written all, it of course is an obscure little book, because there was no great printing presses at the time. He's written his, Isaac Newton, his book. And he has a lot of writing on it and discussions to himself and so forth. When he died, they found it among his papers. Nobody said anything. Recently, a man in England has brought it to light. Now, Newton was a remarkable man, though, and Newton, to the astonishment of everyone, including myself, studied Egyptology. Newton said, we thought he got his Egyptian education from Kepler and Copernicus, and Galileo had used an African water clock in his experiments, and he had been affected by Egypt. But we found that he was actually reading Egyptian texts, and he said there are three things in which some of my work has been prefigured. One, the Egyptians knew about the atom. Of course, it didn't reach the point about atomic fission and fusion. That is a recent development. But he said that they called the atom the monad, and they saw it as the building block of the physical universe, even though they had mystical notions about it. Nobody on earth even dreamt about the atom at that point in time. Not until many centuries later. He said further, he was convinced that they had a sense of gravitational attraction because they talked about the harmony of the spheres, how these things were held in a certain relationship because of these belts of gravitation. Pythagoras came from Egypt with that theory. He'd been there, according to Newton, 22 years. I thought it was 7. This is his own brother, scientist. 22 years he spent in Egypt. And then he said that the Egyptians had a heliocentric theory of the solar system. That is, they knew that the sun was the center and the bodies revolved around the sun. That is why they were able to make such accurate calendars. Do you know in Europe they did not know that? It took a long time before Europe even knew that the earth was not flat. And there had people, intelligent scholars in Europe, telling you that if the earth was wrong, you would fall off. And they would tell you that if the earth was wrong, then there would be people in Australia walking upside down. That was a big concept for them. These are, you see, now we are living on the European power, where the European media overwhelms us and all the books are European, so that we automatically assume, having been born in that prison, that mental prison, we automatically assume these people were on top of the world with all their tremendous intelligence and invention. That is not the case.